Hello and welcome back to spiderworking.com video blog. This week we're with Kieran Comerford from the Carlow County Enterprise Board, and he's going to tell us how he's been using social media. Hi Kieran.
Hi Amanda.
So tell me a little bit about the Carlow County Enterprise Board and yourself.
Okay, the Carlow Enterprise Board was established around 13 years ago. Our job is to help people start and develop businesses. My job is I'm Assistant CEO. That involves two parts. One is running events, like Start Your Own Business courses, conferences, and the other part is helping people start and expand businesses by giving business advice and information. We have around 1,000 participants on courses every year. We have around 500 individuals we meet every year, and we have around 3,500 students on our student programme. So it's a busy office, and there's one in every county in Ireland.
What made you decide to start to use social media?
I suppose with any enterprise board we have to be seen to be in adopting the technologies which business use themselves. So obviously the business community started adopting social media, and we were running training course in social media. So I think it's important to I suppose practice what you preach. So from the point of view of getting on board, if you're given a Facebook course, it's important that you know about Facebook yourself. So for our own business we started promoting it. I think we were one of the first boards. There's around 12 boards now on Facebook in particular, and that's why we adopted really to use technologies to get across the messages, and it's proved very effective for various things.
And which social media channels are you using?
We use Facebook, we use LinkedIn, and we also use YouTube. We have a very big YouTube channel. We also have a website called Enterprise TV, which is kind of linked to the YouTube channel as well. So they're the main ones we used. We have looked at the other ones, but we haven't seen many of them that kind of are very relevant for our business right now.
What made you choose those particular networks?
I suppose when you look at it, I suppose one is a time factor of how long they take to manage. Secondly is the target audience of what we look at. I suppose with anything, our social media is linked overall to our overall marketing package. And for example, when we're working with students, young people are on Facebook the whole time. So if we run the enterprise show, for example, at the end of the show we'll say to them, drop onto Facebook, tell us what you thought of the show, or if you want to enter a little competition or something like that. So what we always do is we try to relate it to our target audience for a specific programme. So for example, the women's programme, we have National Women's Enterprise Day's Facebook page, which I look after. And again, you're looking at online businesses and people talking to each other and sharing news. So it's a choice of media is always picked on basically who we're trying to target with a particular programme. And that's what I suppose has driven us from the YouTube to the Facebook to the LinkedIn, and we use Twitter a bit as well with some of it. So it all depends on who our target audience is and whether they actually use that medium or not.
What have you done, do you think, that's been most effective in social media?
I think all of it has been effective, but if you pick bits of it, for example on YouTube, I think it's important that you link kind of the fact of we can use it ourselves, but we kind of develop how our users can interact with us. So what we do is, so for example the Enterprise Show, we would always film an event and put it up, and we'd be very kind of conscious that we're running an event, thinking about the event beforehand. Is it suitable to put it on YouTube? Would people actually watch it afterwards? Would they get anything from it afterwards? But also we developed a course called YouTube Your Business, which is done by Hedgehog and Jackie McNabb, and we looked at helping companies to actually develop their businesses. Because from our point of view, at the end of the day you could have me talking on YouTube and that's all great and it tells you about the service of the board, but our best testament is our clients and what they do and what businesses they've developed. And I think half of our channel is actually companies and DVDs we've recorded and things like that. So that's worked really well. The Facebook has worked brilliantly for our younger audience, especially for the students, for getting our message across. And it's good in the respect because you can target and you can see results as well, so we can go into our stats and our insights and share links. And as well, if any of our companies launched, like we've Ruckle for example, which is an online company that's launched, we can use our Facebook to tell our community about someone else's community and kind of get the message across. And again, when events are being run, we can tell other people about events. So it's nice because it's a simple, quick way of doing it. And if you compare it to like the previous old way of doing it, we had a website, you self-manage and all that kind of stuff. The amount of time you spend updating Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, it's minimal compared to what you used to do going into a content management system. So it's great, you can sit in there with your iPhone at an event, we've ploughing next week, and basically we can send out the pictures straight to Facebook and people can see what's going on. And we've done that at events as well, so people can get kind of instant feedback and comment, and it's great to kind of interact with people and get feedback, positive and negative as well. So it's a good way of connecting, you know.
And what concrete results do you think you've seen from using social media?
I suppose from social media, one of the things we looked at over the last number of years is printing. We don't print any brochures in-house anymore. Everything is done in general by email or social media. So all of our events consciously go up there. So for example, we had a thing called, earlier in the year, called New Start Carlow, And what we did was we purely had a social media campaign where we recorded 15 videos from 15 different people and agencies, and over a 5-week period we basically fed them out to the community. Now that was the major part of our campaign. We had a small kind of print media campaign as well beside it, but we got 200 something people to an event purely by that. We've had companies as well, especially on the YouTube course, where you get a video. I think one of our videos has been watched for 8,500 times. It's been taken to another channel and watched 8,500 times. Our own ones have been watched around 20,000 times in the period. So we see concrete results because people ring us. For example, last year our students were on the Late Late Show as a direct result of their producer seeing their video on YouTube. So for things like that, you always get great results. As long as you kind of, again, look at your target audience and say, well, the person who's watching this, what are they going to get out of it? And say to them, well, as long as we keep that thought in mind, we always seem to get results from it. So we haven't had a bad experience yet. But it is a learning curve as well, and you have to keep up to date with it. But it is kind of, you can see concrete results, but you have to put a thought process in beforehand.
What advice would you give to businesses wanting to start out using social media?
I think the first piece of advice is social media on its own. It works for some companies, it doesn't work for other companies. I think it has to be part of an overall marketing strategy. I think as well, it's about results driving. I think there's a lot of, I suppose, myths out there. We have the most Facebook fans or most Facebook friends that you'll have a brilliant business, or loads of people are getting my message. But it's really about understanding, who needs to get your message, and is that a right medium for it. I think the main thing as well, getting advice and proper advice on it, and kind of pulling in, if you don't know about a subject like Facebook or Twitter, ask somebody about it, get some advice in, attend a clinic, attend a course. Trial and error is grand for certain things. When it comes to social media, because Facebook has gone so large and because Twitter has gone so large, their rules are there, and it's important that you would abide by them as a business and understand where it fits into your overall package. I think bigger companies are doing it really well now because they're engaging specialists for particular campaigns and they're doing it in a particular way. But I think smaller companies, what they're trying to do is mimic what bigger companies are doing, but they're trying to do it themselves. But it's important that you engage somebody really just who knows the field, just to kind of to give you some concrete advice on it. And as well, if you're going to spend money on it, know what you're getting for that money, whether it be record a YouTube video or whether it be get someone to actually set up your Facebook for it. That basically afterwards that money will only bring me so far. I have to invest my own time in it. I think that's the main flaw I see as well with social media, that people aren't investing time in it sometimes. What they're doing is they're paying someone an amount of money to set them up, but they don't realise in order to get results you have to keep going. Same way search engine optimization and all that kind of stuff. So it is important that if you're actually starting up, you would take some advice from someone who knows the field really well. And when I say when you're identifying someone who knows the field, identify someone who has a kind of success in their own business in doing it, and can teach you, I suppose, a few tricks of the trade, or join some of the networks. I know the KLCK network is there, and I'm sure there's lots of networks out there because they're pools of people who are experts at it, and you need to be learning from those groups of people.
Thanks again, Kieran. We'll be back again next week with our video blog. See you then.